Welcome to QGIS Basics with me, Arlo. Today, we're going to learn how to create an animated Typhoon Track using the Time Manager plugin in your QGIS 3.10. First, you run as admin the application. As you can see, I'm using the long-term release for QGIS 3.10. When you open the app, just go ahead and create a new project. And then add layers and vector layer for your base map. For me, I already downloaded a base map from open source site, and it was already down. So I uploaded a similar file to my G drive. You can just access the link on my description to access this base map file. Searching for shapefile, make sure to change the drop down menu on the lower side beside file name, so that you can know if you are looking for a shapefile. Just scroll to the S3 shapefiles, which you can see the extension is .shp, and then click on the file that you want to add and click open. Then you click add and then close the dock. You can change the settings by going to the properties if you're going to change the color, or you can double click on the layer. On the symbology, you can choose the color you want. I prefer the light color, and then you click apply and then OK. Next is we're going to add a file, a raster file. But first, we need to have a georeferencer on our QGIS 3.10. To do this, we'll need to go to our plugins, click on plugins, manage and install plugins, and just wait for the plugins to load. And you can type Georeferencer or GDAL on the search menu or the search bar on the top of the plugins tab. Since it is already installed, you can just click on the checkbox and then you can hit close after. Once you've done that, you go back to raster and you click on the georeferencer, and then when new tab is open, you click on add file or add raster or picture file. Then you choose the picture file that you want to download. So here's the sample picture from the link that I provided. Just need to download it on your computer. Once it's downloaded, you go back to your georeferencer and then click, or you locate it where the download has been placed. Once the picture file is loaded into your canvas, you make sure first that the setting is correct. The transformation type is on projection or projective, I mean. And then the target reference system is WGS84 or the EPSG4632. And then make sure also to click on load in QGIS when done. Now we're going to add points. In adding points, you make sure that you see the coordinates of the map. You see, when you say it's east, means that the top, the 115 degrees. So you just make sure that you follow the instruction or the sample that they provided above, the degree, minutes, seconds, dot seconds. That's why it's 135 degrees, 0.0.0. So you need to have the 4 area where you georef a map, and you just make sure that the residual pixels on the GCP table is on 0. But for this one, you will experience a higher notif residual pixels. It's because the image of this map has been warped already or resized digitally. So you don't have to worry about this. After you've done putting on GCP points, you can just click on transform, and then the map is already loaded on your map canvas. You can change the layer positioning so that the base map municities will go up, and then you position the canvas so that you will be able to clearly see where you will draw your line. Now you'll have to add your line for the track, Typhoon Track. You name the file. You can just name it any file name you want. And then you go to toggle editing and add line features. And you click on the layer. Make sure you click on the map layer before clicking on the toggle editing and add line options. Now you can draw line. Following the track. For your Typhoon Track line, you can still change its design so that you will be able to see clearly the line. It's now clear. We can now go ahead and add a GCP point. No, not GCP point. The point for our Typhoon positions. And then you will need to have a new attribute table for our time. You just make sure you add it to your attribute list. Now you can toggle editing, and then you will need to add points. Click on the add point feature. Then click on the types. And as you enter, you need to follow the format. It should be the year first, dash the month, and then the date and time. Remember that the time is on 24-hour format. You'll need to do this the same to the other points. Okay, I'll just do the same for the others. Copying the same format, you can just copy everything and then just change the date. Because I messed up one of the entries, I may need to review it and edit it first so that we will have a correct information when we go on to our next step. So this one I need to change this to 21. Okay, after editing, go and save and then click on toggle editing and just hit save again and close the window. Now you're done with the points. You can now uncheck the layer for your georef image and then change the symbology colors of your points so that it will be clear. Change the size and the color, and then you duplicate the layer so that we can have a good effect for this. What we're doing with our duplicated map layer is that we will have a categorized option so that we can grade the size of the points to emphasize the impact of the typhoon tracks. Classify it by time and then change the color to red, and then change the size to 10. Depends on the size you want, and then opacity to 35%. Then you go on to the next, change the color to red, opacity to 35, and then size 15. So I have a increment of 5 point. We'll just do the same for the others, but you'll just have to add 5 for each increment. can see that the effect of what we have done. Now I'm checking if we have already the time manager plugin, but since it doesn't show in the options, we'll have to open plugins, manage and install plugins, then search for time manager or time manager plugin, and then you just need to click on it and install the plugin. Wait until it's loaded, and once it's done you can close the plugin, the install plugin, and as you can see now, there is a time manager dock, or what you call that, tab below your map canvas. You can resize it to maximize the view. Then you can now add layer, choose the layer you want to add, the points, and then make sure that the start time is the time of the attribute table is the time, as it will read the time when you play it. There we added the two layers already, the time Typhoon Track points. As you can see in the time manager on the right side, there is a format there, and then you can also see that the milliseconds interval to make show how long it is, and then we click on OK, and then on this option here we choose the days to show the daily approach, and then click on play. It doesn't go flow smoothly because I think there is some issues with the memory of my computer. So you can export this video to show it or use it as a infographic for your deciders or for planners on your local LGUs. You can save this one, the file, and then after you can export this by using a screen recorder app. You can, if you have already a screen recorder app. Mine, I'm using the Mova V12 Suite 12 for my screen recorder. And here is how it looks when you already exported it.